Rick, Kensington has been around the venture capital scene for 20 plus years. You're one of the earliest firms in venture capital in its modern form. What's the focus of Kensington today?
I can tell you that at Kensington, we are investing across the spectrum from some early stage venture through to late stage growth and into private equity buyouts and another part of our business. We invest in funds as well as directly into companies. And while we're Canadian and we're proud to be based here in Toronto, we have offices in Vancouver and Calgary, but we also invest significantly in the US and in our venture program with investments in Silicon Valley, in other areas where we find great opportunities.
You've been at it a long time, so is the reason you're into private equity because you've got firms from the venture stage through to Series A and B and beyond into
well, it's
private
more
equity?
the history of the firm. My partner, Tom Kennedy, started the firm in private equity. I joined a little later with the venture expertise. So it wasn't really that kind of full spectrum coverage when we started, but that is kind of how it has evolved. We are delighted to see deals where, you know, sometimes we're not sure which side of the house it should belong on, but It doesn't really matter because we have capital and we have the expertise to back it if we like it.
What are the characteristics of the companies and the founders that you like?
So when you boil it all down, we back people. That's what it comes down to. And it doesn't matter if it's a large buyout or an early stage seed deal. We are focused on the CEO founders, the management team, the leadership. It's really all about the team. Of course, you look at things like what's the price and what's the product in the market and all those opportunities. But the overall decision is based on the people, and that is overwhelmingly more important.
And what are the characteristics you're looking for?
You need to see passion. You need to see energy. They have to be intelligent, educated. They have to be the kind of people you want to talk to understand what it is they're doing. You can't be boring. If we're bored in the first meeting, forget it. But you have to demonstrate the knowledge and the passion around the opportunity. We know that whatever your business plan is, it's going to change. The world changes every day, every minute. And if you're not the kind of people or the kind of person or the kind of team that can really respond to that effectively, then you're not going to be successful.
It's always nerve-wracking going into that first meeting. How does a founder not be boring to you and keep your attention?
Well, first of all, they should have that kind of passion I talked about. They should be telling us something that we haven't heard before. Energy's good, but it's got to be real. I don't want somebody to be putting it on. If that's not your personality, if you're more of a,
cerebral,
that's okay. It just, come across as authentic. You got to be confident, but not arrogant. Right? You don't want to be in a situation where not able to demonstrate the knowledge of your business. Just last week, I was in a pitch meeting, a first meeting with one of my colleagues, and just in the course of the meeting, my colleague and I came up with a couple ideas for the product, and the founders thought they were great ideas. Well, you know what? That wasn't great for us because it made us feel like you hadn't really thought it through and you didn't really have the breadth of capability to build the business. So, you got to demonstrate that you know your stuff and that you know it better than we do if you're the ones who are going to run the company.
Well, one of the topics that comes up a lot, and at this point where you're coming in, it's early stage, it's pitching a new VC like Kensington, you don't have all the information. You've got partial market input, partial investor input, partial customer input, and so on, but you don't have all the information. What do you say to founders to be able to make those judgment calls with partial information?
Well, I mean, of course, you want to get more along the way, but you raise an interesting point because sometimes people will say things like, here's where we are, but by next quarter, by the end of the month, we're going to have this wonderful new customer or the product's going to be launched or whatever it might be. Well, keep in mind that if this goes forward, we're still going to be talking to you during the end of the month and the end of the quarter, and we probably won't have written our check yet. So if what you're saying turns out not to be true, that's a problem.